Hey everybody, Tyler from Valve News Network. While we wait for people to come in, how about we do it like old times and we time a Portal speedrun? While people are filing in, why don't we do a quick little Portal speedrun? Let me pull up the timer on my phone. Alright, ready. Timer starts when you see the crosshair.
With a charming personality.
Favorite Coldplay song?
We never change. Start. Okay, that's gonna be over here.
You're a beautiful person.
How's everybody doing?
With a charming personality.
Tyler McVicker, Valve News Network.
Yeah, it's me. Thanks, G Matador. How you doing?
Your business is appreciated.
Gonna be doing a lot today. Welcome to the Aperture Science Computer-Aided Enrichment Center. We hope your brief detention in the relaxation vault has been a pleasant one. The specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper. Before we start, however, keep in mind that although fun and learning other primary goals and other enrichment center activities, serious injuries may occur. For your own safety and the safety of others, please refrain from stand back. The portal is open in 3, 2, 1.
Excellent. Please proceed into the chamber lock after completing each test. First, however, note the incandescent particle.
How's everybody doing?
across the exit.
Today,
Aperture science material
we're gonna be
grid
making
will
videos.
vaporize any unauthorized equipment
We're
that
10 days
passes
away
through
from
it.
Half-Life Alyx.
For
Can you
instance,
fucking believe
the
that?
Aperture Science weighted storage
IGN put
cube.
up their best video covering Half-Life Alyx
You're a beautiful
so far.
person with a charming personality.
Yo, Bigfoot! 4 months. 7 days till Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing. It's gamer time, dudes. Perfect. Please move quickly through the chamber lock, as the effects of prolonged exposure to the button is not part of this test. Yeah, me and Electra doing Portal 2 co-op. We're gonna play it on the couch, on the big screen, split screen, with 360 controllers. Not on the 360, we're gonna play it on my computer, but you know what I mean. No, I know, yeah. IGN actually started putting up good shit.
You're doing very well.
Please be advised that a noticeable taste of blood is not part of any test protocol, but is an unintended side effect of the Aperture Science Material Emancipation Grill, which may, in semi-rare cases, emancipate dental fillings, crowns, tooth enamel, and teeth. Yo, Train Doctor with the 5 gifts! Thank you very much. Tyler, is HLVR real? No, I made it up for views.
You're a beautiful person with
You
a
are-
charming personality.
You are now in possession of the Aperture Science handheld portal device. With it, you can create your own portals. These interdimensional gates have proven to be completely safe. The device, however, has not. Do not touch the operational end of the device. Do not look directly at the operational end of the device. Do not submerge the device in Remember, the Aperture Science Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is the perfect time to have her tested. Yeah, I made up
You're a
HLVR for
beautiful
views.
person
Don't you
with a
know?
charming personality.
Don't you know? I feel like you guys knew that I was making up Half-Life Alyx. It's not real. All those interviews, I made that shit up.
You're doing very well.
Woo! You're doing very well. Corona time.
Once again,
Excellent work.
As part of our required test protocol, we will not
Monitor the next test chamber. You will be entirely on your own. Good luck. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all the stuff that's going on right now. Video related, non-video related once we're done with Portal. Better even fling yourself. Flip, flip, fling into space. Shh. As part of our
You're a beautiful
previous
person with a
protocol,
charming
our
personality.
previous statements
Valve
suggesting
needs
that we
to
would not
release
monitor
Half-Life
this
Alyx
chamber
early
is
for the
not
poor
right
folks stuck in
application.
quarantine.
Good job.
Good job. As part of a required test protocol, we will
Stop enhancing the truth in 3, 2, Will you make a follow-up to the Index video at some point? Yes. I'm planning on making the history of Half-Life Alyx after Half-Life Alyx comes out. And that's like the logical next step of that. So what happened to the extra CSGO content for HLA? It might release on the 23rd, I don't know.
While safety is
One of many enrichment center goals. The aperture science high energy pellet seen to the left of the chamber can and has caused permanent disabilities such as vaporization. Please be careful. They canceled school. We'll talk about all that. I gotta focus. I'm speedrunning. Are required on all mobile equipment. However, alarms and flashing hazard lights are found to rotate the high energy pellet and have therefore been disabled for your safety. Oh, your FPS keeps I forgot to add an FPS limiter to this. Sorry. We're not gonna play it for that long. We're already pretty far into the run.
Please note
That we have added a consequence for failure. Any contact with the chamber floor can result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck. Tyler, how you doing? I'm actually doing pretty well. I'm very excited for Half-Life Alyx. I have been on a juice cleanse for a couple days.
That any appearance of danger is merely a
Device to enhance your testing experience. I'm just drinking liquids lately and taking vitamins. Yes, no, a large portion of Valve is working remotely, which really hasn't interfered with development, but maybe interfering bonus
The
content.
Enrichment Center
Maybe.
regrets to inform you that
This next test is impossible. Make no attempt to solve it. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of cardio right now. I'm still walking around my neighborhood, but I wear a mask when I go out and gloves and shit. And then I take a shower right when I get back. I have hand sanitizer on my desk. Over there, I have a big bottle of industrial strength disinfectant.
Hello again.
To reiterate, previous warning. Momentum. Spectacular. You appear to understand how a portal affects forward momentum, or to be more precise, how it does not. Are you sick? No. I know the mask doesn't make any difference. It's just for peace of mind. I just like walking outside because it's like 65 degrees outside and it's nice and stuff, you know. I have a lot to talk about, but I'm going to wait for people to file in before I have to say anything important, so I don't have to repeat myself.
The device has been
Modified so it can now manufacture two linked portals at once.
As part of
An optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact. The device is now more valuable than the organs and combined incomes of anyone in subject hometown here. I love this game. Get to either fling yourself, fling into. Ah, fuck. Damn it. I just fucked up the whole run by missing that jump. Wee. I have a lot to talk about today. There's a lot going on, professionally and personally. But, like I said, we're going to play through Portal, which usually takes me 19 to 23 minutes, which is a good amount of time for people to file in, so that I don't have to repeat myself, you know.
Now that you are in control of both portals, this next
Test would take a very, very long time. If you become lightheaded from thirst, feel free to pass out.
an incubation associated
You made a
with
video on
factory
Artifact too, but how do you feel about their decisions?
adrenaline.
What do you mean by their decisions? What do you mean by that? I'm very excited for Artifact
As
2.
part of a previously mentioned
Required test protocol. We will no longer lie to you. When the testing is over, you will be missed. It took me 10 years, or maybe 9 years, to realize that she meant M-I-S-T. Like I'm going to turn you into a mist of blood. Mist.
all subjects
Intending to handle high energy gamma leaking portal technology must be informed that they may be informed of applicable regulatory compliance issues. No further compliance information is required or will be provided, and you are an excellent test subject. Yeah. It took me forever to realize that she didn't just mean M-I-S-S-E-D, she meant
The
M-I-S-T.
enrichment center
Is committed to the well-being of all participants. Cake and grief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test. Thank you for helping us help you help us all. Hardest trick in the whole game. Ah, and I did it. First try, idiots. And now I'll fuck this up. Yeah, I knew it. I fucked that up. Portal bumping, you gotta be real careful with it. If it's a really short distance that you're bumping, your timing will almost always be off. Yeah. And then it also took me fucking forever, and this is the more embarrassing one, where she says for Chamber 16 it's been replaced with a live fire course designed for military androids. At the end of it, she's talking to the androids, not you. So she's trying to control the androids by telling them about android health. The appropriate chamber for this testing sequence is currently unavailable. It has been replaced with a live fire course designed for military androids. The Enrichment Center apologizes for the inconvenience
talked about
and wishes you the best of luck. How do you feel about the changes to the game you talked about?
Android.
Oh, for artifacts. I love them.
Is a real place where you will be
I
sent
beat-
at the first sign of defiance.
I love it. So the artifact changes, I really like what they're doing. They're fixing every problem the game has.
The vital apparatus
When
will
speedrunning
be
Chamber
waiting
16, my goal is to
companion
beat
three,
the introductory
1.
voice line, where she explains that the chamber was replaced, and I just did it. I almost never do that.
Please take care of it.
Oh, and I was so fast that fuck, your goal is to, when you speedrun this chamber, your goal is to beat the energy pellet.
This weighted companion cube will accompany you through the test chamber. Please take care
Oh
of
man, I don't know why I fucking flubbed this bit up so fucking much. On this way it'll explode, right?
it. The symptoms most commonly produced
By Enrichment Center testing are superstition, perceiving inanimate objects as alive, and hallucinations.
The
Enrichment Center warns you that the weighted companion cube will never threaten to stab you and, in fact, cannot speak. You did it. The weighted companion cube certainly brought you good luck. However, it cannot accompany you through the rest of the test and, unfortunately, must be. You euthanized your faithful companion cube more quickly than any test subject on record. Congratulations. Press 1 if you think I look better when I shave. Press 2 if you think I look better with a beard.
The experiment
Is nearing its conclusion. The Enrichment Center is required to remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake. Hi, Boo Bear. What? Yeah, you want to say hi? Hi. Okay, this part's hard. Did it. Damn, I'm actually doing alright this run. As long as you're in this hallway when that timer goes out, you're making good time. Oof. On Portal's still alive for the Xbox 360, there's a completely new set of achievements. And I remember one of the achievements was called Out of the
Be
Blue.
advised that the
Next test requires exposure to uninsulated electrical
well.
parts.
I'm
that may
very
be
proud of you.
dangerous under certain conditions.
For more information, please attend an Enrichment Center Electrical Safety Seminar. And Out of the Blue meant that you could only ever enter orange portals through the whole game. That was an interesting way of playing the game.
Welcome to the final test.
When you are done, you will drop the device into the Equipment Recovery Annex. Enrichment Center regulations requires both hands before and T before any cake. Congratulations, the test is now over. All Aperture technologies remain safely operational up to 4,000 degrees Kelvin. Rest assured that there is absolutely no chance of a dangerous equipment malfunction prior to your victory incandescence. Thank you for participating in this Aperture Science Particularly Enrichment Center.
Goodbye.
What are you doing? Stop it. We are
2
pleased.
weeks ago you mentioned on Twitter that you had info on Back 4th Live.
I do.
Are you planning on doing a video in the
We are
future?
Yes.
very
happy for your success. Ask me that question after the game.
We are throwing a party in honor of your tremendous success.
Place the device on the ground and lie on your stomach with your arms at your sides.
A
Party associate will arrive shortly to collect you for your party.
Make no
Further attempts to leave the testing area. Assume the aperture going the right way. Where do you think you're going? Because I don't think you're going where you think you're going. Fun, though. Remember when the platform was sliding into the fire pit and I was said goodbye and you were all no way. And then I was all we pretended we were going to murder you.
Tyler, you lied to me. It says you're playing Half-Life 2 on Twitch.
Sorry. This isn't safe for you. Can you return if she asks you to? No. Nope. Because you're not even in the right place. You should have turned left before. It's funny, actually. You should have turned left before. It's funny. Think about it. Someday we'll remember this and laugh, and laugh, and laugh. Oh boy. Ooh, ooh. Nice. Getting up onto that pipe is really hard. You know that, right? Good people won't get up here. Can you hear me? Boop, boop. We're almost done.
This is your fault.
It didn't have to be like this. I'm not kidding now. Turn back or I will kill you. I'm going to kill you. And all the cake is gone. You don't even care, do you?
This is
Your last chance. Pooh, pooh. What's your fastest time? 19 minutes, which I just passed. I fucked up quite a bit in this run, as you probably saw. And that time was like the only time I was able to bring a turret with me and hurt GLaDOS in a way that worked. And I'm gonna try and do that now. No, I'm not. Alright, fuck it. Whatever. I hate the GLaDOS fight so much. Hey everybody, it's Tyler from Valve News Network. How you guys doing today? I'm doing great. There's a lot going on. Let's try a different song. There's a lot going on, as you're probably aware. We're pretty much all quarantined to our houses right now, which is interesting to say the least. I'm a college student. I'm actually a college senior. I graduate in May with a degree in journalism and communications, and I've been getting emails from my
You're a beautiful
yo.
person with a
Thank you for the Twitch
personality.
Prime. Remember, Twitch Prime is free. Got a couple emails from my university, and they're essentially saying that we don't have to go back. It's the semester's pretty much over, and they're just gonna pass the people that are there, and there's gonna be like 3 assignments through the rest of it, and it's as simple as that. So that essentially means I'm effectively graduated from college right now. Thank God! I'll eventually make a video one day about my experience as a journalism student, because it was bad.
You're a beautiful person with a charming
yeah.
personality.
Congrats for
Yeah.
grad and HLA.
Thank you very much. But, you know, obviously, Corona is kind of scary. So I'm trying to take care of myself as much as I can. You know, I'm trying to do what I can. You know, clean myself all the time, that kind of stuff. There's not even going to be a graduation ceremony, no. They're just going to mail us our diplomas. It's going to be fucking weird. But that essentially means that for the time being...
Well, that sucks for people who were banking on the final to pass.
Well, the thing is, literally, the last class I had in my new media class, which is a 5,000 level course, upper division level course, I did a presentation on how to use YouTube as an advertising vehicle, and I got 100% on it. And it's very interesting
You're a
studying
beautiful person
communications.
with a charming personality.
Yeah.
Coronavirus is the
4
new
months
big man on campus.
For Hayden. Thank you, Hayden. So what's interesting is being a communications major and a journalism major. Well, okay, these are 2 different things. It's a dual major thing. Being a communications major is very surprising as a person who loves communications. I love public speaking. I live for that shit. Obviously, I love just the sound of my own voice or whatever. But I love talking to y'all, and something that a lot of people love about these live streams is the ability for me to just kind of explain situations in a very friendly, very entertaining manner, right? It's very surprising to see people use communications as like the easy major, because it technically is. You can pass it without doing much of anything. You can learn a little bit if you actually are putting in the work, which is what I do. And it's very disheartening to sit in a communications lab where everybody has to give presentations, right? And stand in front of the class or stand in front of the lecture hall and have a PowerPoint and a clicker and just kind of explain something to a group of people. I love that. I live for that shit. And it's very interesting because for me, it kind of is like I'm doing a live stream, right? Just imagine if I was doing a live stream, but I had a PowerPoint, like I prepared things for live streams, which I might do in the future. I don't get nervous about public speaking at all. I look forward to it. But the thing that's so disheartening is how many people that take communications as a major that then go up in front of the classroom and just go, all right, so I did my my project on Snapchat. Snapchat is like it's like an app, you know. You take pictures and you like send them to other people, you know, like that. That's like 90% of it, because unfortunately, at least in my university, the communications department is where they put athletes that don't want to study. So there's something about NCAA sports that when you're in college, no one really talks about, but you can, I mean, people have commented on it. If you're a jock that isn't that smart, they're going to put you in communications and they're just going to pass you along. If you're on sports scholarship, you need to maintain a GPA to keep the scholarship and also to keep playing the sport. So they're just throw you in communications, and so you have a bunch of like big burly dudes standing up in front of a room going, yeah, so this is Facebook. And I don't like give them a hard time because it's not their fault that the system is dog shit, right? So I'm friends with pretty much everybody in that department. It's funny when I go to the university and I like walk out of a class and I'm like, hey, anybody want to get lunch? It's me and a bunch of like burly fucking 6'8" dudes sitting around talking about like Fortnite or Minecraft or whatever. I don't care, right? Because when you're in a communications department and you go up and you're actually good at communications, right? Then unfortunately, like, it actually does kind of work in your favor. Like, I'll stand up if I'm in somebody's group, like if they're picking group projects, right? Everybody wants me in their group. And when I get picked for a group, everybody's like, yeah, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? So, so communications is interesting. It's bullshit. I'm not learning anything, but it's better than my experience with the journalism department, because in journalism, everybody is very full of themselves. Everybody is like the idea of a journalist is very important. I completely agree and get behind that sentiment. You need information providers for society to work. However, the people that are journalism students, especially journalism professors...
Day 355 with the Chads, they still haven't noticed him actually a geek.
No, they know I'm a dork. I'm the one that takes notes on an iPad. It's not a problem. No, but it's funny because here's a funny story. I was sitting in class when the PC Gamer article for Underlords 1.0 came out, right? And I was playing Underlords on my iPad in class. And this massive, massive dude who's super nice, who always sits next to me, his name's Doug. He just looked over and he saw I was playing a game. He goes, playing, what is that, like Lord of the Rings chess? I go, no. It's called Underlords. And for the next like 25 minutes, it was me and him just going like, me teaching him how to play Underlords. And then like 3 weeks later, he comes back and is like, oh dude, I bought the battle pass. And he's like super into Underlords now. And like, that's all he talks about with me. He'll come up to me and be like, so like, do you use Scrappy? Like, you know, that kind, it's like fucking cool, you know. These guys are super nice. The system is bullshit. The athletes aren't assholes. Are you kidding me? They're fine. They don't bother me at all. You get what I mean? Like, you can't blame an athlete that gets put in that situation for that situation. It's not their fault. It's the system that's broken. That's, at least, that's my belief, right? So I get, you know, I make friends with the big athlete guys pretty well. And I mean, part of that has to do with the fact that my younger brother, is this ripped dude. And him and I, you know, get along. He's like my best friend, right? So, you know, it's just like I'm talking to my brother all the time. So, yeah, I agree that university athletes are exploited pretty hard. I am a believer in that. Excellent! Yo!
This is me asking you about Back 4 Blood after you finished Portal.
So I got in contact with a couple Back 4 Blood playtesters. They actually reached out to me, and I learned a lot about the game. I'm not going to give you the information, but I will tell you that the information is from playtesters. I've seen footage of the game. You're going to love Back 4 Blood. If you like Left 4 Dead 2 specifically, oof, woo, Back 4 Blood's your shit, man. That game is going to be fucking great.
Now I'm imagining a big room full of buff college football meatheads huddled up playing Underlords.
No, yeah, so the guy that I was talking to is like left center on the YSU football team, starting line. And he's a big burly dude. He's huge. And he always shows up for class late with like headphones in, and he always sits next to me, and he's always super soft-spoken, super nice, and you'd always just like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? And he always asks me how I'm doing. I ask him how he's doing. He sometimes shows up to class with a monster to give me because he knows I like Monster. Such a nice dude, right? The athletes are so nice. I have like 15 of like most of the football and basketball team on my phone because I'm friends. I'm like literally everybody like that. Super easy for me to
Was
talk
there
to
ever
people.
a playable build of Project Shooter?
Yes, and I have one. Shh. There's so much to talk about. Have I seen images of Chet Falisek's game? No. That's being kept very close to the chest. I don't really know much about Chet's game. There's a reason why I haven't even attempted to... yeah. I like Monster Zero. Monster Zero. That's my favorite. That's my drink of choice. Anyways, what was I talking about? Journalism class. Journalism school is bullshit. Especially if you're a successful independent journalist going into it. So, there's one time I turned in a formatted, edited Valve News Network video script as an assignment. I turned in the Gray Newell interview, like thing about Fury and Natir and all that as a assignment. And my professor found out that I had uploaded this to YouTube beforehand and failed me for the entire class for self-plagiarism. So what happened to me was I became very close friends with this Japanese foreign exchange student named Nami. Excellent! And her and I still talk. She's...
SHH?
Yeah.
You say you have a playable copy of Project Shooter.
I've played
and
it,
say,
yeah.
Wait.
Wait until after Half-Life Alyx comes out. I have so much cool shit that I can't talk about until after Half-Life Alyx comes out. Simple as that. Just wait until the game comes out, and then I could actually, like, show some shit off. I have my own final hours of Half-Life Alyx, you know what I mean? So anyways, what happened was I became very close friends with this Japanese exchange student named Nami. Nami's fucking awesome. Still friends with her. She moved back to Japan, and she asked me to send her, like, American snacks, and I asked her to send me Japanese snacks, and we go back and forth, and she's great. Nami worked for the student newspaper, and she came over, would have been 2017, for us to do a project that we were partners on. And I have not played Half-Life Alyx. I've purposely kept if I wanted to, I could, but I'm not, because I want my streams to be legitimate first reactions to things. So Nami worked for the school newspaper, and she came over for us to do an assignment that we were partners together on. She's like the best journalist I've ever met. And so we were working on this project. She came over to my house. This is back when I was in the Snake Shack. And she was like, damn, you have a lot of video games. I go, yeah, I'm a video games journalist. And she goes, what do you mean? What, a video games journalist? I'm like, yeah, like people that write for like Famitsu or whatever. She's like, oh, you write for... I'm like, no, I don't write for Famitsu, but like, you know. And so I showed her Valve News Network, and at this point I had like 220,000 subs. And she's like, oh shit. And then 2 days later, I get a call from her like, hey, can I do a report on you for the school newspaper, like a profile? I'm like, okay. And you know, we met for lunch, we talked, she took an interview, and then that got in the school newspaper. Okay. The guy in charge of the school newspaper is also the lead editor for our county newspaper called The Vindicator. And he calls me, and he's cool. He's like,
What year is the build of Project
2015.
Shooter from? Last question.
14 or I don't know, 2014 or 2015. It's an earlier build of Project Shooter. It had more development put into it before it was moved over to Source 2. I have like the earliest fucking shit. It's all like white development walls and stuff. It's where that screenshot's from. There was this, it's called The Vindicator, and so he called me and he's like, can I do an interview for a profile for the the real newspaper? I go, of course. And we just talked on the phone for a while, and then it appeared in the local newspaper. 3 days after that, I get a call from our local news station, WKBN, 27 First News. And literally 3 hours later, there's a guy from the local news station bringing like a big ass camera and microphone in my house. And he does this profile on me for the TV, the local news. And then that airs on television twice. And it was funny because when it aired, I got like, everybody took me seriously that I knew personally after that point, like all the old people, you know what I mean? Like, because I could tell my grandma 1,000 times I'm a journalist, but she's never going to see anything. My grandma sees me on the local news. I'm a big deal now. You know what I mean? The problem was the department of my university saw it. My professors. And there were a few professors and the majority of my peers that saw that as, oh, so he thinks he's the real
You're
deal.
doing very well. I'm very proud of you.
Just wanted to say you are among the greatest journalists. You tell the truth while still being charismatic. You're willing to change your entire style with speculation and no names, just games. You're awesome. Period.
Yeah. Something I want to point out about No Names Just Games is if what I'm reporting on is an interview, I need to put the name there. But if it's speculation, the point of No Names Just Games is to avoid gossip or TMZ-like reporting. If it's just random shit, I'm not going to put a name. If it's an interview, I need to put, like, there was an interview with Tristan Reedford, Kerry Davis, and Jane Ang just put up on IGN. I need to say their names, because I'm going to be playing clips from their interview, you know what I mean? But if it's just me over here trying to, like, do hashtag fuck Doug, which I'm done with, not going to do that anymore, you know? I will tell you that Michael Abrash is a snake as much as I need to, though. Anyways, so my professors saw that, and they started to make my life a living fucking hell. I was in a class that I had 100% in. The thing aired, and I couldn't get a fucking C to save my life on anything. None of the other students would even talk to me. It was fucking awful. Everybody went from, he's cool, he's good at what he does, to, oh, he thinks he's some hot shit. Fuck him. Let's squash him down. And I remember there's one professor in particular that used to email me personally. You know, I would turn in a report. You know, when you're in journalism school, you need to do stories about your area, right? So I would do stories about restaurants a lot. I always would pitch, like, I want to do a profile on this new restaurant that just opened, interview the owners and interview the staff and, you know, stuff like that. They used to be cool with that. And then after that, they're like, you think that's real journalism? You think you could just do restaurant reviews on your YouTube channel and be considered a journalist? Okay. So then I start writing about local politics, right? There was one time, when you're a journalist, you have to try and find your story. That they obviously teach you that. A lot of journalists don't do that. A lot of people that call themselves journalists don't follow the idea of you need to find your story. They just look at other outlets and then copy their work. But what happened was you have to pay attention to, like, local events or whatever, right? And so there was this event of a guy who, in the Reagan administration, was the United States' main ambassador to North Korea, who was giving a speech at our university about what life is actually like in North Korea. This was a couple years ago. I read that and went, that's fucking cool. That's pretty fucking cool. So I signed my name to that story, and I said, I'll go to that, yeah. And so I went. There's like 5 people there. And so there was 5 people there, so I, like, recorded the thing, interviewed him, interviewed the people that put it together, the student government thing that put it together, you know, the poli-sci students that put it together. And then afterwards, I asked him, I pulled him aside, and I was like, hey, can I interview you? And we went and got food, and we sat down, and I talked to him for, like, an hour, and I put together this really cool profile of not only him, but also details on what life is really like in North Korea. It was like a 5-page piece. The only feedback I got, by the way, got an F. The only feedback I got was, this is too long. Do you think real journalists do you think people really want to read 5 pages? Real journalists don't do that. And so I took a look at the other stories, because you can read other students' stories that got turned in. I remember that week, somebody turned in 3 paragraphs about a new pizza topping in the cafeteria. That got an A.
Excellent!
What the fuck is... You should have gone to your department. I did go to my department. The problem is, the guy who liked me, the dean that liked me, went on administrative leave. And the woman that took over fucking hated me. It was that professor. So that sucked. Journalism... I see, the problem is, if you want to be a journalist, don't go to journalism school right now. Because most of them will teach you newspaper, magazine, and local television writing. Newspaper, magazine, and local television writing are all already dead. Just don't do it. I'm self-taught for the most part, you know. Honestly, just try and be independent and listen to your worst criticisms and take the feedback to heart and just try and, you know, format yourself better. It's the only thing you really can do. And the most, like 90% of the people that call themselves journalists out there are just shitty public relations representatives that just copy each other in this weird circle jerk. It's... Anyways, so today, the point of today's stream, you know, as I say 45 minutes into today's stream, is to take a look at all of the recent official reporting that has taken place with Half-Life Alyx, outline the important information, and turn that into a script. All right. By the way,
You're a beautiful person with a charming personality.
Magnus G-Man with the tier 1, thank you very much. Am I feeling okay? I feel fine. I have a bit of a vocal node right here because I've been talking too much. But I do feel fine. So, before I started the stream, I finished the play Half-Life Alyx play any Half-Life game in VR script, which we will record today. But now I need to write an outline for
You were doing very well.
You know.
I'm very proud of you.
Good lord, I'm so fucking glad I haven't had to deal with this shit. Why the hell do people have to shit up academia?
I really, unless you're going into a STEM major, I really don't think college is worth your time. It's a controversial opinion, but just how it is. Okay, so we have quite a few videos that have been released, mostly through IGN. This is the newest one, which I watched before reading the title. And it fucking pisses me off because this is the best piece of journalism I've seen IGN do for a really long time. And that's just because it's an interview and there's nothing they really need to do. And they take one line that fucking Tristan Reedford said and then, oh, it's Zelda inspiring Half-Life Alyx. Clickbait! See, I get so much shit about, oh, everything I do is clickbait. I would have titled this The History of the Gravity Gloves. The History of the Gravity Gloves is what I would have called this. But let's watch it, and let's take notes. This is an incredible video, but anybody that has equipment and access to Valve could have made this an incredible video. I'm taking notes on my iPad, by the way.
Because we're a prequel, you know, there was an opportunity to...
I've never heard Tristan Reedford speak before. I had no idea he was British, and I had no idea he was Sean Murray's father. That's a joke, but if you've not seen this video, his mannerisms and his voice sound like...
Do you want me to rip this video for you?
If somebody could rip all of these in the highest quality possible, that'd be great. This dude sounds like Sean Murray. He, like, talks in the same way as Sean Murray. It's kind of blows my mind. I had no idea he was British.
Because we're a prequel, you know, there was an opportunity to tell a bit of the backstory of the gravity gun in, like, these are the prototype for it.
Like, that right there. That's fucking Sean. You know what I mean? Like, watch the old No Man's Sky stuff. That's exactly how Sean Murray would have talked.
Gravity gun in, like, these are the prototype for it. You see something in Half-Life 2, and then there's a backstory to it. But you don't want to go all the way and just explain the entire story of how this thing came to be. You want to come back a little bit. So there's enough space for the player to make up their own backstory to where these things came from.
Does it have a skull and crossbones on it?
I don't see one.
Probably medicine then.
The gravity gloves are sort of the...
That's Kerry Davis. That's our door friend right there. That's the guy who went to... that's the guy that did the talk about doors that we all love. Kerry Davis is fucking awesome. That's the guy that stood in a crowd full of game development students and went, oh yeah, we have an email list at Valve about Valve News Network videos.
Technological precursor to the gravity gun from Half-Life 2. We wanted a mechanic that didn't require you to carry a separate weapon or device.
Excellent!
Every time someone says Kerry Davis, I think of Terry A. Davis, the schizophrenic guy who developed an operating system that used random number generators to talk to God.
Temple OS guy? Yeah, okay.
They allow you to access items and parts of the world without having to do a bunch of moving and bending and things that tend to fatigue you a little bit. So they work well as the gameplay, and they work well as making it easier to play a game in VR. I sort of always saw it as kind of a remote fishing pole sort of thing. You can.
I'm taking notes when I pause it. I'm sorry if that's annoying.
Connect to it from a distance, and you just kind of tug it, and that sends it sailing through the air, and then you get the catch. And I felt like that was the most VR kind of feel, having that little flick of the wrist. And tuning that was kind of tricky because we didn't want people to get exhausted from doing this constantly, but it couldn't be so subtle that you were constantly accidentally pulling things.
It's really fun to watch playtesters go from really not know how to do it, and then they just get really good at it really fast.
This track, holy shit.
In not too long, they're just like, and they're just like catching things all over the place.
When you pull an object to yourself, we're actually using physics to drive it through the air so that it gets to your hand. And it's correcting constantly during the path. So once you pull something, if you move your hand, it will adjust its trajectory to get to where your hand is. So you can be in combat, you don't even have to be looking. As long as you've got your hand out, it's gonna go to your hand.
I think it's important that it felt...
Excellent!
Have you seen that in an update that Valve has added an option to let barnacles pull you up?
Not yet, don't spoil me.
Intuitive as well, because a lot of the players under duress when there's monsters and
I love Kerry Davis. I love this guy more now.
And they don't have time to think, they just have time to do the action.
And now I feel guilty. You know. Because this... Poor fucking Tristan, man. This did not make him look good. This guy? Oh, wrong video. That's this guy. You know what I mean? Poor him. What the fuck happened, dude? You were having a bad day. You look fucking great!
Monsters
It isn't
and
in this video,
they're trying
it
to
was in
shoot
a separate
things all the
IGN
time,
article.
and they don't have time
Sorry.
to think, they just have time to do the action, and it better just work.
You don't have to remember a button press or some combo to get the thing to you. You want it over here, and you're very physically saying, get over here.
Especially when, and later on, you can like catch live grenades, actually. You can just catch and
I'm
throw
glad
them.
Jane gets a
If
chance
you're
to
really
fucking
good with the
talk.
gloves, it's like second nature.
We can take a lot of loot and sort of tuck it into corners and on beams and things like that where you normally couldn't get to it, but it gives you the incentive to explore a little more.
Some of the best looking things in VR are the things that you can examine close up.
Look, I don't need to say this because I think we're all on the same page. Tristan Reedford is an attractive man. Holy shit.
And hold in your
Oof.
hands. In Half-Life 2 it was kind of boxy, and it was like a lot of casing and with some manipulators on the end.
Yeah, Jane Ang was a hire from Campo Santo, and in my opinion, the absolute best hire from Campo Santo. Not even fucking close.
But with the fidelity of today's games, we could really just take the casing off and you could see all the internal parts.
I like the engine light. That's my favorite. The little engine, the check engine light.
Yeah, I think that was a nice addition. That's Tristan, he came up with all that stuff.
Well, that was, that was an attempt to tell the story that it's made out of found objects. It's not all manufactured, and an engine light, you know, straight out of a car dashboard seems to make a lot of sense. It also had to do the job of UI as well. It has like your health and ammo on there. We went through a lot of iteration of trying to figure out how best to...
Okay, so because we're so close to the game, I'm not going to be reporting on dev history stuff, like at all. There's going to be a whole separate series of videos for that. You know what I mean? Like, for now, I don't want to clog up people's minds with like, oh, you know, it was originally a watch. You know, I instead want to focus on this is what's going to be in the retail game. And then after the game's out and people had a chance to absorb it.
You are attractive man.
You know it. After people had a chance to absorb that shit, then because we're so close to release, there's no reason for me to like clog your mind with like, here's what's happening and here's what they cut. We'll talk about what they cut later. We have infinite amount of time to talk about what they cut. You know what I mean? Press 1 if you're in agreement on that. Yeah, I thought so. So interesting point about, you know, the HUDs-up display on your gravity gloves and the evolution of the thing. But it's not really worth doing it right now.
Display the information, how big it should be.
And also it's super cool that for viewers, like stream viewers or anything, they have a Half-Life 2 style HUD on the screen.
On there, we went through a lot of iteration.
Super fucking cool.
Trying to figure out how best to display the information, how big it should be, whether we didn't want the players, you know, having to examine the back of their hand, they just want to be able to glance at it.
Did you come up with the hearts?
I think so, yeah. And I was playing Zelda at the time, and when you get a new little heart container on Zelda, it's just lovely.
That little, oh, you know, just the Zelda is lovely. Zelda made, if it wasn't for Miyamoto, Half-Life wouldn't exist. God fucking damn it, guys. You make Valve feel bad for making comparisons if that's your main fucking...
Looking up the hearts, I thought, well, this is neat. Like, I like it. I think it's cool because I love Zelda games myself. And I thought, but you know, people are going to kind of say that this is way too gamey.
How Shigeru Miyamoto helped shape the Half-Life franchise. Saved you a click. They didn't fucking do anything.
This doesn't work for Half-Life, so it'll change down the road. Somebody will have a new idea. And it just kind of stayed, and nobody had a problem with it. And over time, we just realized, no, we do like it.
We had wristwatch, which was going to be the health and ammo reader, but we didn't have a wrist, and so we thought, well, we'll try it on the back of the hand, and that didn't look right. So then we lost the straps, and then it just got attached to the plate on the back of the hand with the rest of the gravity gloves. And then that's why there's a watch case there, was because it went through this iteration from being, you know, a useful piece of UI to just a piece of background found object visual design.
It all makes sense though.
Yeah, there's a backstory to all of it.
The main upgrade that you get is the flashlight that you can mount it on there. We had to do some extra work with the flashlight because when you're aiming it straight, it's fine, but players like to brace their weapon, and then the flashlight beam is pointing off to the side rather than where you're aiming. And initially we said, well, we'll just rotate the beam to give you the look you want.
I told you guys about the flash. Didn't I tell you guys about the flashlight like in January?
Tristan wasn't going to have that. So that was not, what's your phrase for it?
Well, mechanically responsible.
Mechanically responsible.
So
this clock right here, this tablet, that's the Heavy, that's Gordon, that's Chell. What the hell? What is this?
it either had to point at your teleport point on the ground, which is what its default position was, but like you say, when you're doing this, it's off over there. So we built in a little ball joint to the end of the flashlight, and there's two poses. It'll point at your teleport point, or if we know you're bracing the gun, it'll switch position.
So we had to animate the flashlight so it could articulate to redirect the beam.
Yeah.
So that it would be mechanically responsible.
Yes, that's important. Well, in VR, with a lot of the animated mechanical things, and because you are able to examine them in a lot more detail than on a normal flat game, it felt it was worth the extra effort to make sure these things all worked properly. It's fun to build that stuff.
Excellent!
It looks like it's just a meeting room schedule sign like in most convention centers and stuff.
I just like to pick up all the different things in the world and then just examine it with your hands, because we actually had to author a lot of custom content for how we can actually hold objects. Like, we don't think about how we actually grab objects as like human beings, but if you have to author them, you suddenly realize there's like a lot of ways one can try to grab on a chair or whatnot.
Zach actually made that. Zach and Keith made that system, didn't they? So what she's talking about is in VR, you know, when you grab something, when you tell the game to grab something, right? So, like, I'm grabbing this from the top, right? The game needs to be programmed to have an animation for your hand like this, so that when you grab it, you can actually grab it from the top and work on that like that, right? Same goes for this. That needs to be authored. That system was created by Zach and Keith. Fucking Zalubo! The secret architect of Half-Life Alyx. Okay, so this vid's pretty much over. Couple critiques on this vid. We're all very excited for the music of this game. This music is way too fucking loud.
I just like to pick up all the different things in the world and then just examine it with your hands, because we actually had to author a lot of custom content for how we can actually hold objects.
Like, I can barely hear Jane. Also, for some reason, Carrie Davis's mic sounds like the treble is turned up by 1,000%. Listen to this.
Or kind of feel having that little flick of the wrist.
Versus someone like Tristan, where it sounds like
the casing off and you could see all the internal parts.
What the fuck happened there? What the fuck happened there? And also, I'm way more of a fan. They obviously had a long conversation, right? I am way more of a fan of no-clip style of doing interviews, where it's just a fucking conversation, right? But when it's IGN, it's got to be like it's a fucking television, like, we got to edit. Every 15 seconds, you need to cut to gameplay, otherwise you're going to lose your viewers.
To explore a little more.
Fucking hate that, man. They obviously cut stuff, like, yeah. No-clip stuff on Doom Eternal has completely changed my opinion of no-clip. All right, so, yeah, so the important points from this are Tristan is Sean Murray. They created the gravity gloves to have the mechanics be outside of a carried weapon, so you can always have access to those mechanics without having to switch to a separate thing. The Russells mechanically are kind of viewed as like an automatic fishing pole. It's all physics-based, so you don't have to always be looking at the object for it to be pulled. You can activate it and then quickly shoot, and it'll still come to your hand. Fucking cool. And then Tristan was pretty much in charge of all of the HUD stuff on your hands and designing the gravity gloves. So like
you were
the
doing
hearts,
very well.
the HUD,
I'm
the check
very
engine
proud
light.
of you.
The flashlight has been known about since the announcement trailer. It was in it, and even Philip pointed it out.
Okay. And then the flashlight has 2 modes with a articulating head. So that's that video. I'm going to pee real quick. Be right back. Okay, so we're going to move on to this. Well, actually, no. This video is pointless. Moving on. We have these articles now. How's Zelda? Oh,
You were
this isn't
doing
an
very
article.
well.
Okay,
I'm
moving
very
on.
proud of you.
Yo!
At PAX West last year I mentioned your channel and you to Danny of NoClip, and he expressed interest in working with you on a doc or short form video. Just say the words and I can help get you in contact if you aren't already.
Yeah. Fucking make it happen. Are you fucking kidding me? Yes, of course. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm down. Why wouldn't I be down? Fucking cool, man. Alright. Alright. That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, dude, yeah. Piss and shit. Piss and shit hotline. This is Dave. That's how I answer the phone, by the way. If someone in my family calls me, I'm always like, piss and... Hello? Hello? Hold on. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, you're on stream. Introduce yourself.
Oh no. Hi, I'm Zach.
Zach? Who's Zach?
I'm Zulubo.
Zalubo?
Is that better?
Like, the guy who used to work at Valve and design the ladders?
No, different Zulubo. You got the wrong guy.
Vertigo? Vertigo 2?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. Did you see the new IGN video?
No.
Okay.
I did not.
Jane Eng, Tristan Reedford, Carrie Davis, right?
Okay.
And Jane Eng talked about how one of the more difficult things in her job was having to author a lot of custom content near the tail end of development. regarding
right.
different angles of the hands grabbing objects and the animations of those hands grabbing the objects in different positions. Isn't that your fucking system? Didn't you and Keith put together that?
No, here's the secret.
Okay.
My system was inspired by HLVR, by Half-Life Alyx. Everything about it was informed by their system.
Oh. See, I was gonna call you like the secret architect, but it turns out you're a copycat. You're IGN.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was Valve and I was copying Valve, so that seems reasonable.
Yeah. Okay. So I just heard a rumor that Vertigo 2 is shipping Q4 of this year. Is that true?
No, I have no idea when it's gonna ship.
Well.
Where are there rumors about Vertigo 2?
I made that up. I was just making
okay. Nice.
That's an interviewing trick. I think we've talked about this in the past. That's an interviewing trick, right? Where you act like you know more than you do. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So as a former Valve employee, what kind of videos do you think I should be making more often?
What?
As a former Valve employee, what kind of videos do you think I should be making more often?
Kind of videos? I don't know. Well, as Valve starts, actually making some games again.
Yeah.
Making what?
Yeah, I said yes. Yes.
Yeah. Making videos like analysis videos is always really fun.
Yep.
Fun to watch. So I'm definitely excited for that coming out of your channel.
I had a interview series lined up with the Underlords team for 1.0's release, and they canceled it on me because I leaked those screenshots.
Which screenshots?
Yeah. Do you remember when that video came out back in January where I had one of my sources gave me screenshots of the game?
Of Underlords?
No, of HLA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, due to that leak, they were like, fuck it, no, we're not doing it, fuck that.
That sucks.
Do you think maybe leaks of that nature should be toned down as a professional?
I don't know. I mean, if it pisses Valve off and you're worried about that, maybe.
Okay. Do you think I shouldn't worry about what the companies think about me, especially as I start to expand into Bethesda and Nintendo?
Well, as much as you piss off Valve, I feel like you have much more potential to piss off Nintendo and Bethesda.
Well, see, the thing is,
who
Valve
have more of a reputation of retaliating.
Yeah. When I piss off Valve, I'm only pissing off like a third of the workforce.
I did. Sorry. 1 second.
I did it! I nailed it! You see two?
I think just one.
No!
Sorry, Tyler. There are people throwing apples over dorm buildings here. It's okay.
You need to go home.
I know.
Okay. So, will you be returning to work at Valve at any time?
I don't know what my plans are right now. Still figuring that out.
Are you going to work at Stress Level 0?
I also don't know that.
Excellent!
What about...
Apple is code for coronavirus bomb.
Would you work at Cloud Head?
I don't know.
Move to Canada?
Not sure I would want to move to Canada.
All right. Is there any questions you have for the audience? Is there anything you'd like to ask the audience?
I don't know. You gonna play Vertigo Remastered? It's really fun.
How about I do it right fucking now?
Oh, I was talking to the audience, but if you want to do that, cool.
Let's play his game right now.
Build may be broken, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, it's in dev, so let's play it right fucking now. Let's play it right now.
Here, I'm on my phone. I'm gonna try to open Twitch and watch it so I can see how badly this goes.
Okie doke. Do you want to be do a dev commentary thing with this and be on the? I can share my screen if you want.
Oh, that would work.
Are you on Wi-Fi?
Yes. If I walk a little closer to my building, I will be.
Okay.
Sorry, my roommate is still asleep, so I have to be outside. Love college, don't you?
No, I fucking hate college. I have actively convinced you to try and leave in the past. Haven't I? Isn't that a frequent conversation we have?
It was a joke, Tyler.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna switch to the headset.
Okay. I'm not getting a screen share.
I know, I haven't started it yet. I'll let you know.
Oh, okay. That would explain it.
Okay.
I'm on Wi-Fi.
Piss and shit. Piss and shit.
Oh, what these people are doing, throwing fruit.
Can't hear you, can't hear you, can't hear you, can't hear you.
That's alright.
Okie dokie. Hokey skokey. Alrighty, alright. I'm Tristan Reedfoot, I'm from Britain. I'm Tristan Reedfoot, I'm from Britain. I'm Tristan Reedfoot, I'm from the England. Alrighty.
Oh, fuck, I just realized I'm locked out of my building. That's alright.
Hello, audience, can you hear me? Hello, audience. Earth to audience. Does it sound like I'm on the Index HMD yet, or?
Yeah, you sound pretty loud. So if you're away from your mic, probably the Index. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm a loud person in general.
Yes, you are, Tyler.
So, Zach, Electra asked me what you look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I put that picture, I found a picture on your Twitter and showed her. Can you guess what her first reaction to seeing your face was?
No, I cannot.
Take a guess.
I don't know.
Can you see OBS?
No, I can't. I'm still not getting a screen share from you.
Oh.
Or a video call. Oh, am I not? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Okay.
I can see it now.
All right. She said you were super cute.
Aw.
Yeah. Literally, it was funny because we were driving to Walmart to like panic shop for groceries. And she went, "You know who I think is cute?" I go, "Who?" Who's that guy? Robert Yang, I think his name is. Lawrence Yang from Valve. Yeah. And I was like, wait, what? I've never spoken about Lawrence in the past ever. She just saw his Twitter and went, "Oh, he's a cutie." And that was the end of it. Like, okay. She thinks Matt Wood is super cute. She just thinks all Valve employee dudes are cute, other than, like, Gabe. But she's like, "Oh, he's super cute." I'm like, okay. All right, Vertigo 1.
Vertigo.
It's
Sorry,
loud.
not all the options are in here yet, but...
Is there audio options? Because that loud.
Is it loud?
That forklift over there? Yeah.
It's very loud. Sorry, no audio options.
Okay. How's it look, everybody? Can you see it all? Can you see? Press 1 if it's working fine. Oh, I got put into the desktop portal thing. It doesn't really work that well. All right, let's play. Oh, wait, what are the settings?
Play.
Snap turning, thank you. Smooth loco, thank you. Oh.
Hey Zulu Bo, did Red Cow
The default
ever tell
should be
you
fine.
about how I entirely broke Vertigo 1 by trying to demo it on Vive Pro at a VR hackathon?
Wait, play from stage select.
Play from beginning is broken right now.
Okay.
Yeah, just start at the beginning now.
Here?
Yep.
Okay.
No idea how many of the stages will actually work, but we will find out, won't we?
How old were you when you made this?
15 when I started it.
How old are you now?
I am 19.
Is Vertigo heavily based on the Half-Life and Portal franchises?
Okay, here's the fun thing. When I started it, I had never played Half-Life. I had only played Portal, and I was like definitely Portal inspired.
Mm-hmm.
But I somehow wrote a story that was like almost identical to Half-Life 1. Not almost identical, lots of similarities.
Love this song.
Am I supposed
Can
to
you
be?
not grab onto that?
No.
You can't?
No.
That's not right. That's concerning.
Is it broken? Can I not proceed?
Hopefully not. Are you sure you can't grab onto that?
Okay, so triggers, no. Grips,
Triggers or grip?
no. Touchpads, no. Buttons, no.
No touchpads. That's buttons to switch weapons.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay. Try a different stage then, because that's no good. Double tap the B button to open the menu.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem. You're just terrible at what you do.
I am.
All right, Richard's
so yeah,
demise. Richard's demise.
It'd be much more fun if you knew what happened to Richard previously, but it still works.
Oh, oh my God.
That's Richard.
Hi, Richard. Oh, it's his demise. I get it.
Yes. Sorry, spoilers.
It's like the beginning of anime episodes where they tell you everything that's about to happen in the episode. Fucking pisses me off. All right, so Smooth Loco.
Usually you win. What about it?
How do am I supposed to get up in here?
Oh, yeah, you sure are. Check out all your weapons. It's a good idea.
Oh, that's fucking cool looking.
Thank you.
The particle effects are dope. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe not that one.
Shit, this stage is broken too, isn't it? Can't teleport onto anything. You have the most broken ass build right now. If I made a new one, it would be much better.
Oh, damn! It's like budget cuts teleport, in a way.
Yep.
So is this not gonna work?
Can't teleport into the top.
Okay.
Fortunately, this is a really short stage, and the next one should be the least broken out of all of them.
Can you promise me that?
I can promise you that. Unless this build is even more broken than I thought.
This is the video. This is the one that you put in that video, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
What's plank? How do you pronounce that?
That's the plank.
Wait, plank? That's not how you spell plank.
It's a name.
Oh, okay. Is there physics?
Max Planck.
Oh, there's
famous physicist, yeah.
Ooh. Nice. Oh, it's this thing.
Yep. So check it out. You've got some little pockets that act coincidentally exactly like wrist bags.
Is that what they're called in game, or is that just what Valve calls them?
That's like the code name for them.
Okay.
Whatever. I don't know if they have a name in game. They're not like canonically have like little holographic circles attached to your arm. It's just your pockets.
The hell is this?
That's definitely not a head crab.
Oh, okay.
It's called a hopper. Oh yeah, melee doesn't actually do damage at the moment, so.
How do I check my health?
You don't have, it's just like by your screen saturation.
Oh.
So when you're low health.
Okay. Hold on. Do I have a flashlight?
You do not.
What is this?
I don't know.
Oh, did I die?
You did.
Huh. Well, that sucks.
God, I wonder if you have a checkpoint. Hey, you do have a checkpoint. Come back.
So wrist bags, huh?
Yeah.
Are you a fan of wrist bags?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Do you just have the 2 in Half-Life Alyx, or like?
You just have the 2. That's right.
So how do I, you know, that?
You do have a teleporter. Don't forget.
Does it work?
It does. In fact.
Oh, nice. That's some eloquent design.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you're good at what you do.
And when my game works.
Everybody go buy Vertigo.
Actually, don't buy Vertigo.
Why not?
Because Vertigo is the super broken version of Vertigo. But buy Vertigo Remastered once it comes out.
Why am I moving?
That's also probably a bug. Just pretend you're not moving.
Okay. There you go. Please swipe keycard. Oh, purple card required. What is this, Doom? Oh. Yo.
Agree with Zulubo, the original Vertigo is good, but it's super buggy and janky. Wait for remastered.
Agree with Zalubo.
What?
Somebody just said, I agree with Zalubo. Vertigo 1 is great, but it's super buggy and janky. Wait for the remaster.
Yeah.
So,
anybody who's played Vertigo 1.
Oh, good God.
Hello.
You think maybe without melee this is a bit much?
No, never.
Hey, can your character shit themselves in this game?
No.
Do you think you can add that as like an option?
Is that a feature request?
Yeah, do you think that you could add that just like as like how the barnacles is like now an option to pull you up, like?
Sure. That seems reasonable.
Why is there only one purple?
Because they're special.
Did Vertigo 1 originally have physics?
Nope. Not like hand physics or gun physics. That's some physics.
Recognize what's on the other side.
Okay. Is there a run button?
Doing good. There is not.
Did you hear that burp?
I did. It was great.
Whoop. Do you like VR?
Overrated.
It's dead. No one likes it.
Yeah, VR is dead.
It's funny because a bunch of my friends are finally getting the Index or VR setups now, and everybody that got them is like, "Oh shit, I get it."
That's what happens when people actually try VR.
Which is why it's funny that whenever I see people like angry that Half-Life Alyx is a VR game, I'm like, "You just haven't tried VR, have you?" And then their next response is, "Oh, well, you're just entitled because you can afford it." And it's like, look. I never, like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? You want me to not make these videos? I like the buttons.
Thank you.
Does Half-Life Alyx have buttons like that?
They're different. Wow, what's going on in here? Why is it so dark? Despite the big light on the ceiling.
Is that a bug, or is this, like, supposed to happen?
I don't know. I don't think it's supposed to be this dark. I have no idea where you are right now. Wait, maybe I do. Yeah, I think I do. Probably go back to where you were. This isn't right.
Looks like there's a staircase here, though.
Yeah, there is. Oh yeah, I guess you can go up there. Oh yeah, so this is very special. This is Quantum Juice. This is Vertigo Remastered's resin. You can collect it with the space-time manipulator, which is your purple teleporter thing, by pressing on the trackpad.
Nice.
And when you get enough of that, you can upgrade everything. But first, you can upgrade your space-time manipulator.
Was that stolen?
Yes.
At what point in development did they add the upgrading stuff? Do you even know? Or was that just like original design doc stuff? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we need them. There's probably some decisions that were made really early on, like just to have a couple of guns, but to have them be really customizable and really, rich with the interaction.
When did you start at Valve? I always forget.
Me too. I also always forget. A long time ago. Like 2017? Yeah, 17.
Do you think Valve is overrated?
Sometimes.
Do you like Underlords?
I do not, personally.
Do you like Artifact?
I also do not. Not really my kind of games. Oh no, you're missing the cutscene behind you. Not cutscene, but...
Scripted sequence. Yeah, I know, I have a tendency of doing that.
Yeah. It's overdone.
Talk to my friend JC. She always freaks the fuck out whenever I do that.
Like What are you doing killing these, Tyler?
Oh, did I just open like a shortcut?
No, you went the long way. Just had some quantum juice.
Oh, quantum
You
juice.
opened this door.
Oh wait,
And
this.
you missed that giant red.
Yeah,
eyeball
it's
killing
teaching me
you.
about the eyeballs.
Yes, it was trying to, but you defied learning.
Well, I mean, we've talked about how much I hate education, so you know.
It's fair.
Oh poop. Oh poop. Oh, this is actually getting good.
Do not enter restricted
Yep.
areas.
Who knew you could make a good game?
Who knew? I did not.
Who's the nicest guy at Valve? Or girl?
Jeep has been pretty lovely every time I interacted with him.
Agree. Wait, how do I do this? Oh, whoa. Oh, like that. Nice. I got more science cum.
Yes, you did.
Can never get enough of that. Science cum. So if you were to rate your experience at college out of 10, what would you give it?
Like a 3.
You know, I think you're being a bit gracious, to be honest.
Possibly.
Am I supposed to go down there?
That's actually a shortcut, which you probably shouldn't do because I want you to see the actual level.
Okay.
If you really want to, you can.
Well, I mean, not when we're doing dev commentary.
Okay. It's a cool shortcut, though. It's like a little present for speedrun.
I'm trying to get this
The whole level.
this down, aren't I?
Yes. Yeah, and you can get closer to those eyes than you think. You have to be like in the red spotlight to see it.
Wait, I'm confused.
Are you?
Tyler Dumb, remember?
Yeah. Look at the big green lights above the levers. That's the hint. It's like way stupider of a puzzle than you're imagining.
Oh, I just literally follow the lights.
No, it's like I'll probably replace this because it's so stupid. You literally just move the levers and get the lights to turn on.
Oh, that is a dumb puzzle.
Yeah.
That's not even a puzzle.
No, it's not even a puzzle.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I am ashamed.
Oh, what? What the fuck?
The lever went back down. Yeah, I don't have them, like, stay very well at the moment.
Man, you're bad.
I am bad. Oh yeah, it's ladder time. Ladder time, baby. Oh, watch out. There's gonna be a... You're fucked. Get fucked.
How far back are they gonna send me? Don't be the start of the level. Don't be the start of the level.
No, it's not the start of the level.
Oh, okay. Fuck you, fucko. Oh, you bought a speculation shirt, didn't you?
Oh shit, I don't remember if I did.
You sent me your order form. Yeah, I think you did. Is it just... Is that back in Seattle?
I don't know, maybe. I might have accidentally ordered it.
Is Nat wearing the speculation shirt? Oh no, I gotta get more space cum?
You don't have to. You can if you want. Oh yeah,
What?
you know, if you get this, you might have enough for an upgrade.
How,
Probably not.
how upgrade?
It's in the menu.
Congratulations, Jeep Barnett. You won Nicest at Valve Award.
Yay.
You know, Electra's dad is named Dwight Barnett.
Yeah.
And he's married to a Rachel Barnett.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeep is married to a Rachel Barnett.
Huh.
Yeah. And they look identical. It's really weird.
Are they the same person?
They might be the same person.
Yeah, I feel like there's a conspiracy theory here linking
Electra and
Electra's family
Jeep.
to Valve. Yeah.
She's just like a corporate spy this whole time?
Yes.
Damn, she's willing to do anything to get information.
From the Valve News Network division.
She actually is thinking about doing that. Because, of course, she gets her fucking substitute teaching license right when all the schools fucking close.
Ladder time.
Thank you, Valve, for listen. Oh, what?
What?
It's not letting me.
You just still have those in your pocket.
It's not letting me smooth locomote onto the.
It's not letting you smooth look. It might be too high. You can just like, yeah, yoink. Sorry, I just changed out to a different character controller, like physics package, which is much better than the one I wrote myself. But
so this is Valve's ladder, essentially.
This is literally Valve's ladders. Yep.
And they automatically. Yeah, that's the problem I have with Boneworks' ladders. Is they can kind of be annoying to get off of.
Yeah, annoying to get off of, and they also go like really hardcore on the physics while you're climbing, so you can end up.
That's literally the whole game.
It is literally the whole game.
I mean, I love it.
It fits together.
I am
nothing not consistent.
I am the biggest Boneworks apologist supporter I think out there, to the point where people have accused me of being a paid shill. I'm not, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I don't even think Stress Level Zero has that kind of money, to be honest.
Definitely not.
That's the thing that Alex always tries to like remind me, is that like, look, we built Boneworks on like 1/10 the budget of one of Half-Life Alyx's levels.
Yep.
Did you hear that they had to evacuate their offices and they're working from home now?
Yeah.
Just like fucking everybody, man.
Yeah.
In the event of another surprise health inspection, please discard.
This is like, for anybody watching and concerned, this is like the only level in the game with the keycard puzzles. So it's not just Doom.
Why did you choose to make keycard puzzles in the first place? Are you bad?
Yes. No, I just I wanted more variety, because the original Vertigo 1 had a lot of like key code puzzles, which were even more annoying. So I just toned it down by one notch.
The keycards are new though to the remaster, right?
They are, yeah. I'm basically replacing key codes with keycards.
So you had to memorize a code before.
You did, yeah, or take like a sticky note with the code written on it. It was just annoying.
Were the codes randomized, or were they the, you know?
No, they were set.
Oh, then like you could just memorize them and skip through large portions of the game.
You could indeed. I think I'm still gonna have some codes, but just cards as well, because the cards are great.
I love your two-handed system.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Is that original?
Also, that is original.
Okay.
Yes. I did that, I think, before, possibly, I don't know if Half-Life 1 said two-handed weapons, but two-handed weapons has been a thing in my Vertigo 2 engine for a really long time. Sorry, that's the character controller again. Get stuck.
Well, at least I can. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
That's the hazard of physics-based buttons. Oh.
You said it's in the menu that you do this?
Yep.
Okay, teleport right. Ooh. Ooh. Wow, you're good.
Reload speed doesn't actually do anything, so I recommend not getting that one.
Wow.
Yeah, check out the whole tree. There's some cool stuff in there.
Walk speed.
You like that whole like 3D effect?
Yeah, that's really cool. You probably can't see this on the computer screen, but this it's like it has depth to it in it.
Yeah, if you move your head around a little bit, we can see it.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
I just want to show off my sweet shader.
Yeah, look at how much work Zach put into this.
So much work, way too much work. It's just what I do instead of doing homework all day.
School is worthless. You could just be doing this all day.
Could just be writing shaders.
No. Is this a puzzle?
This is stupid and contrived, but you're not allowed to teleport through these bars.
Okay, hold on.
That's a puzzle.
Okay.
Yay!
Boneworks did the same thing, so it's fine.
Yeah.
What the hell? Oh no!
Rope physics.
I'm programming rope physics.
I actually bought these rope physics. I did not program them myself. You gotta swing it hard.
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what Electra told me yesterday.
You're terrible.
Got it! Oh man, what is this? Hunt down the Freeman? My arms! Oh man, I gotta reposition these fucking things. I so desperately want tracking 2.0 so I can have 4 of them in my room. But I don't have $8,000.
It sucks to be poor, you know?
Okay.
Well done.
Oh god. Hold on. This is a long level.
It is a long level.
Fuck, give me my hand! Can you hear the audio from the game?
I cannot. Hopefully stream can. Yeah, it looks like stream can. Because I'm seeing OPS.
Piss and shit? Oh.
Piss and shit.
This is a Half-Life thing that you stole.
It is?
Oh, you didn't?
This isn't a Half-Life thing.
It was for Half-Life 3.
What?
It was for Half-Life 3.
Oh, no. Zip lines are original. These have been in Vertigo forever.
Okay. Yeah, Half-Life 3 had zip lines, like, just like that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, this elevator is incredibly broken. Do not go in here. Okay, too late. Don't press that button. Go back to the main menu. If you press that button, the game will literally crash.
Where,
thinking about it.
Where do you want me to go?
Just go back to the main menu. This is the end of the level.
Oh, okay.
God damn it. Oh, hey. It didn't crash. It died instead. That's actually good. That's a step up.
That's better. That is the better situation.
Yeah. Hey. It is.
Wait, yeah, I can pull items to me?
No. What the hell?
Oh.
What the fuck? Excuse me? Floating keycard?
Yeah,
I think I might know why that's happening, but that's still really funny.
if I switch the weapons, will it fall? No.
No. Yeah, I think it loaded in, like, while it was in your pocket, and since there's technically no gravity while it's in your pocket, it had gravity.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, go back to the main menu. You should try a different level.
It's a surprise feature.
Surprise feature. Yeah, floating keycard. Not the worst feature. Tyler, I want you to try out another gun.
You have other guns?
Yep, I sure do.
No way.
One of them is actually brand new to the remaster.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Making multiple guns.
What a dickhead, this guy. Having 2 VR setups? I mean, I have 5, but what a dickhead! Yeah, my office has the Index, Electra's office has the Oculus, and my den upstairs has the Windows Mixed Reality.
I like how it loads you into the menu still holding the gun. It's a good...
Oh. Hello?
Oh, yeah, that's a bug. Just use your left hand, it's fine. Or, like, switch the gun and switch back to your hand, it might fix itself.
No.
No. Nope.
Okay, so now what? The pits?
Yeah, try the pits if you want to go on a tram ride. Which, of course you do.
It's Half-Life. Oh.
Ah, fuck.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye. Okay, so you can fix this if you really want to go on a tram ride, but otherwise I just recommend you do a different level. It's your call. Do you want to fix this?
How do I... No.
Okay, yeah, just go back.
Oh, that's good looking. Look at that. The particles are...
Oh, yeah, because you're falling at, like, Mach 3.
What is that?
I don't know.
It's your game, man. You should know what that is.
I don't know. I've seen that before. I have no idea what it is.
Man, games are weird.
Games are weird.
Hey, I can use my hand.
Congrats.
Residential. Man, this is a broken ass game.
It is indeed.
Tax return. Ooh.
Oh, hey. Did it load you? Oh no, this is just the next level. This is where he came from after the tram ride. Yes, you have discovered the titties.
That should be an achievement. Anybody that does that, achievement pops up. You discovered the titties, you pervert.
Alright, alright.
Oh, hello? Hello? Oh, shit. I shouldn't do that.
I'll stabilize it.
Space cum. Nice.
Oh, it's science cum.
No, I like space cum better.
You're underground than space.
I like the escalators.
Thank you.
Escalator! Do I have enough space cum to do something now? No.
No.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Low stage because you're not like playing the game continuously because the game is.
Oh! Oh, that's right. Oh, look, it's Science Pete.
Science Pete.
Is that just a friend from high school or something?
Yeah, his name is Peter.
Oh, really?
Yep. Backstory of that is we had to do like science projects where you like make a video or something. He made like a knockoff Bill Nye named Science Pete, and the rest is history. He's now canon. Oh yeah, so this is just placeholder dialogue. This is from Vertigo 2, because I do not have the new lines recorded.
Can I be a voice actor in your game?
I try not to let people be voice actors just because they're my friends.
Okay. You can advertise it. Valve News Network in the game.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh god, do I have to kill that?
I don't know.
What is this, Doom? Doom 2? This really is Doom. Recreation Center. Dormitory C1.
This is the best thing I have ever made. These dead things.
Grant Massey. Who are these? Who are these?
They're randomly generated names.
Oh, okay, okay. You're not doing a Half-Life, and these are people that you know. Okay.
Oh no, there are some real people in there.
Trash can.
Trash can. Trash can physics. These toilets are a work in progress. FYI.
It's the most game developer thing I've heard today.
They do not flush. Also, the stall doors might not open. We'll see. Yeah. Stretchy. Yes.
See that again? So I'm gonna grab here, and then I'm gonna grab here. We got one piece.
Yes.
See, will it crash the game if I do this too far?
No, I don't think so. No reason it would. Yeah, the thing is with my interaction system, I can define like a distance where things are automatically dropped, but I have to do it per object, and there's no like hard-coded limit. So by default, your hands can stretch infinitely, which is possibly an oversight.
Possibly. No, it's a feature.
It is a feature.
Archie Peterson.
Box physics.
Oh, I get it.
You get it?
That's kind of genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also put trash cans on the button, but I guess you're not smart enough for that.
Oh, you know me. Tyler Dumb. Oh, shit. It's Dougie B and the Fresh Bag Gang. What, is that Dougie B? Or is your boss Dougie B? So if melee doesn't work for me, does his melee do damage to me?
It's supposed to.
What up?
It's not the most reliable.
What up? It's Tyler. It's your burp boy.
Oh, you're gonna love this. You're gonna very much love this. Look at the plaque on the wall. To the left.
Nice. Fucking the meat baron. Renowned capitalist, and does he know about this?
Yes, I got him to sign off on it. He suggested meat baron. It's evil Anton. Oh god, the site is broken. I'm sorry.
What do you mean the site is oh.
It's supposed to be a holographic site. Missing a texture. But other than that, this gun is pretty sick, right?
Oh, I can shoot the space cum.
You can, and it comes.
Man, I can't believe Gabe Newell makes Valve employees sign a fucking chastity contract. It's fucking weird. Like, Gabe is the one that makes, like, puts the belts on for them. It's fucked up. Okay.
That's unfortunate. Just get one, Tyler. Just be great.
Is there no ammo on this?
Not right now. It's unfinished. It's work in progress.
This music is weird.
You fucked up. You gotta use cover.
I don't believe in cover. What is this, a bed?
That's the scene where I teach you that those guys fuck you up.
That's rude. You know, I'm done getting the science cum because the game's too broken to remember me.
Yeah. You're loading a checkpoint before you got the science cum. I guess it would be polite to let you keep the science cum. Oh yeah, you want to see some real punk shattered glass?
No! Oh god, childhood flashbacks of my dad! How much damage this boy take?
A lot. Go for headshots. Oh, there is. Spoken. It's almost done.
Man, if only this gun had a sight.
Right?
No.
You can like aim and it's not just flashing distractingly in your eyeball.
Yeah. Electra can't play this game anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you, Dad. Oh. What?
Yeah, that's a known bug, I think. I've had that happen to me.
Okay, so what's in here? Oh, buttons. There's another Ellie. Oh god. I don't want to do this. Oh, it's my dad. Alright. Well, I think that's a good place to end.
Alright. That's fair.
How you doing? How you doing, Zach?
Me, I'm doing alright. Are you talking? I can't hear you.
What? Hello?
Hello? Oh look, we're turning on video. Am I?
It looks like you're trying.
I'm trying.
This is my I work at IGN face.
Poor IGN.
Got him. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work for you, bro.
I don't think it's gonna work. Nope.
Okay, well, it was good talking to you, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my Black Mesa shirt.
Very nice.
Because I like Portal. Here's my Apple Watch I'm going to put on. Do you have an Apple Watch?
I don't. I think they're stupid.
Does your dad have an Apple Watch?
He does.
You think your dad's stupid?
I do.
I'm going to tell your dad on you, you fucking dickhead.
No.
Alrighty.
Dude, don't clip that and
somebody clip it and tweet it at Nat Brown right now. Oh, Nat. He works at Apple now. He does. You're shit talking the family business.
All right. I think Apple's dumb.
Just all around, you think Apple's dumb?
I don't know. Not all around.
You have an iPhone. You're talking to me on an iPhone right now, aren't you?
I am. I think iPhones are all right, but I think Apple as a whole is pretty dumb. But
wow,
there goes my chances of my my summer internship at Apple, right? And my dad's trying to convince me to do.
Your dad can't do anything now. He's just like, God damn it, Zach!
God damn it!
Damn it! Your mom's like, Zach, I can't believe. I thought I raised you better than this.
Yeah, Tim Cook is like
Apple.
watching Tyler's streams and is gonna fire my dad.
Oh,
now.
Tim Cooks loves me. Tim Cooks?
Yeah.
The ghost of Steve Jobs? True story. My family's good friends with Steve Wozniak. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to him a couple times over the last few years. Yeah. Yeah, Tim Cooks, 7 iPhone. All right. Yeah. You doing all right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you. I gotta do the thing that I told
Likewise.
people this stream was about.
Okay.
When
Yeah, I
the
get it.
game is more functional, and we're closer to release, would you be down for doing an actual recorded, edited video dev commentary of Vertigo 1?
Yeah, sure. Like an intentional one.
Fuck yeah. When you go back to work at Valve, can you be my corporate spy?
No.
Oh, fuck. All right. Do you want some
I would
ramen?
no longer be working at Valve.
Yeah, but they wouldn't know that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Would you like some ramen?
What?
Would you like some ramen?
No, I'm all right.
Okay, well, I've got Sapporo Ichiban Tonkatsu. I have some Daishin Nissin Tonkatsu. And I've also got Maruchan's Taste of Asia Spicy Miso Chicken. Spicy miso. All very good. All very good. I also have been prepping for the coronavirus, so I don't have to go out. I bought, let me switch, screen share, change windows, boops.
I'm just getting an image of Russell at the moment.
I bought 12-pack
Wow.
of the Monster.
Coronavirus will never get you now.
Well, I'm not going out, so yeah.
Yo, Richard, let me in. Fuck that. Forgot my card.
All right, everybody. Say goodbye to
Say hi
Zach.
Richard. Richard, say
Hi, Richard. Hi, Richard.
Yo.
Hey, Richard.
no, I'm just...
Richard.
Tyler on stream has a guest.
Richard.
Yo, what's up?
Do you want some ramen?
I'm good, bro.
Man, no one fucking wants it. The coronavirus, you gotta stock up on easy food. Hey, Richard. Yeah. Richard.
Yo, what's up?
Richard.
Yeah, what's up?
How much you weigh?
What the fuck? Wait,
I think he said, how much do you weigh?
how much do I weigh? I don't know. I haven't checked in a while.
Okay, I weigh 239 pounds.
Tyler thick.
I got
Slightly less
thick.
though.
Yeah, I know, but it's really cool because I have this disease where all the weight goes right into my penis. So like 100 pounds is just my genitals. You know that disease? You know that disease where like women will sometimes have breasts that'll never stop growing?
No.
Well, that's a thing. I have that,
Okay.
but it's in my genitals. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Electra can't walk anymore.
Okay, Tyler, I'm gonna hang up. That's alright.
Okay, bye. But he didn't hang up. Dickhead, you didn't hang up.
God damn it.
It just said join. My diaphragm hurts. Oh, fucking. Oh god, it's starting to hurt. Oh. 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 Oh, I'm showing off the goods. Don't show off the goods. I'm like a sexual streamer secretly because I wear low-cut shirts and you can see all my chest hair. See, this is the thing that I feel like separates me from like a professional journalist. And some people don't like it, but I personally feel like I need to do
your
it.
hand,
Oh, fuck. I feel like I personally need to do it. Like, I don't need to always be forward-facing professional. You know what I mean? I feel like that limits a person way too much as a creator. If you always need to be like, hi everybody, this is Tyler McVicker from Valve News Network and here's your news. All the time, because then you don't have a fucking personality, you know? I feel like it's more fun if you're just able to have, like, kind of lay back and have fun with your viewers and your audience a bit more. And just have a bit more of a personality and opinion set, and, like, people can kind of understand your viewpoint, and you can have opinions, and when your editorials make a hell of a lot more sense. From having pizza under his desk to disinfecting his hands every 15 minutes. To be fair, sometimes you've got a bit too far. I'd love to know examples of going too far. Feel free to tell me right now. Oh, 3 clicks got back to me. Thank God. Dope. Phil agreed to talk to me. Yeah, the fun thing about losing weight is my shirts are too big now. So, like, my shirts, if you watch old streams, my shirts used to fit perfectly, but now it's just like they hang. And you can see my chest hair more often. Sometimes you dive jokes into the ground or keep them going for long amounts of time. I know. I know that probably bothers some people. That's perfect, like Slime Wall, Mr. CEO man. Yeah, I know. That's just my sense of humor. Beat Saber workout. Yep. Beat Saber and Pistol Whip. Definitely. Okay, actually, this kind of music won't work because it's got lyrics and stuff. Alright, now we gotta, listen, we gotta read the articles, so. Let's play some Open Fortress. No, we're gonna do the thing that I said we were gonna do. Okay, spoilers, by the way. We're about to hit some spoiler territory. If you don't want to be spoiled, Mute. Okay, and then when it's time to not have spoilers anymore, I'm going to do this to the camera, okay? So, mute. When the spoilers are over, I'll do that, okay? This is a bad spoiler. This is pretty bad. So, IGN fucking pissed me off and spoiled the opening thing in the game in their article from a couple days ago. And I'm taking notes on this. So, mute, okay? And I'm gonna read this as if it's a VNN article. Finding the song, give me a second. What the fuck is the song? Hold on. The first new Half-Life game in over 12 years begins more quietly than you'd probably expect. You, as Half-Life Alyx, are on an apartment patio looking out at City 17 afternoon 5 years prior to Half-Life 2. Thanks to the Valve Index VR headset, you're immediately there. You can pick up objects around you and throw them to the house across the street. A Strider thunders by, using the decaying city infrastructure to propel itself down the streets and across the rooftops. You talk to your father, Eli Vance, on a video call. But it's further ahead, a short way into the campaign, where you get the Russells, the gravity gloves you borrow from the scientist ally of the same name that lets you lock onto objects and fling them towards you as if it was an invisible lasso. And Half-Life Alyx begins to show you why it very much appears to be the killer app that VR waited 4 years for. Okay, so that bit, they like, that bit pisses me off because that opening section that they're spoiling is fucking amazing. It's amazing. But giving away certain details of it kind of sullies it a bit. But it's out in the open, so I have to report on it. Okay, and then the rest of the article... quickly skimming it. Yeah, there's nothing here. Such a stupid article. Okay, so that's the intro paragraph is the only thing worth in that article. Okay, so now it's the big one. We answer your questions. So we're going to narrow this down to the most important questions. It's essentially an IGN AMA about Half-Life Alyx. What is movement like? I ended up using... Okay, so... Could it run on PSVR? Are there loading screens? Yeah, barnacles, that's important. Does it feel like a step forward for VR? Will it make an impact? Okay. This future Half-Life question is kind of stupid because we've already known, they've said it multiple times in the past, but it hints towards, you know, it tells us that we have a Gabe interview coming next week. Are there large open areas? This isn't a... See, this is a dumb... Yeah, spoilers over. Yeah, this is a dumb question because they only played the first 4 hours, so they don't know. They don't know that. It's just them going, well, my favorite part I can't say. I would say the hacking puzzles are a little uninteresting. Playing Alex was my first time using the Valve Index. What? Wait, what? You what? Why did they? Okay. Weapons are stuck to your hand. Okay, yeah. Ah! I literally made that joke already. We've already got that answered. Okay, so those are the only questions worth reporting on. Kind of a waste of our time with that. Alright. Tested did a way better video. It's a half an hour conversation, right? Fucking love it. Why did I just... I can be a little shit sometimes. See, this is how I want to see video interviews be handled.
Conversation, please enjoy. So I guess to start off, what was it about VR gaming that made you connect the dots between that and Half-Life?
We can start by answering it mostly as game designers.
Yeah, I mean, VR interested us, early on, as you sort of know. And I think as a game designer, the bit that really interested me was specifically the input. Right, when trying to do innovation in game design, one of the sort of easiest sources is new input methods, right? Because anything that, any kind of input that a player can provide to your game that they've been unable to provide in the past is obviously a place to start whenever you're looking to do something new. And so we were really interested by simultaneous, 6 degrees of freedom, 2 inputs plus your head, so really 3. And that it just seemed very fertile. There were lots of things we thought we could do, and we'd sort of been simmering on that, I think, for a while, but the lab course put us in a position where we watched lots of players, and watching other people play video games is still, I think, the best way to get better as a game designer and one of the best sources of new ideas. And seeing some people play the early versions of the lab and the early versions of what became Job Simulator later and stuff like that, there are sort of moments in that I still remember as a designer where I saw players provide input into the game that was simultaneously sort of effortless on their part and incredibly complex on the game design side. And those were really exciting as a designer in terms of like, oh wow, we can use this in a way. And there's also often the case with VR, it's people who are not complex video game, not heavily experienced video gamers, yet able to provide very complex input. Whereas if you look at where we've got to these days with 2D screens with like in first-person shooters, the sort of expectation on you as in terms of the input you need to provide to be a high-skilled player is often something that really sort of had to have played through the genre.
Oh, you want me to do 2x? I'll do 175.
to be able to just jump into now, but people can jump into VR and provide very complex input, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's interesting that you talk about simultaneous two-hand input being kind of the mechanism that really sparked excitement on this project, because when we look at VR in the early days of consumer VR in the past 8 years or so, we didn't have motion controllers on a lot of the headsets, and really immersion and the sense of presence was the big selling point.
Yeah.
And even the idea of hand presence doesn't necessarily dovetail with interaction, right? So it was less so being able to see your hand, because that's a very intuitive thing when you're holding something like the Vive Wands or the Oculus controllers and getting your fingers, and that's something, like you said, you don't have to learn as a new gamer, but it's not until you have ways to interact with the world to kind of the verbs of VR.
Yes, yeah. The order in which the industry figured those things out makes some sense. I mean, first, we all needed to figure out how to put the player somewhere, transport them, and then we could engage them in really becoming interactive and doing things, and the verbs come to the foreground. So it does make sense, but it definitely was a focus of ours to be caring about the method of input and the activity, rather than putting all of our focus on the part of it that sits on your head that's sensory but not really active.
I imagine those things are intertwined, the world building aspects and how you design levels and populate levels. You always have one foot in your mind about like how do the players interact with the things they're seeing as they're exploring and puzzle solving. So what are the interaction models, two-hand specifically, that are in Half-Life Alyx that you guys are most excited about or have kind of iterated on and feel really great about?
We've learned a lot about interaction in Half-Life Alyx. I don't know if it's an interaction model, but one of the things we've learned a lot about is the density of interaction, which also affects the pacing of a player through the space. So much of how people play Half-Life Alyx is actually a pretty significantly different pace and therefore density of interaction. People are slower to traverse space, and they want to slow down and be more interactive with more things in each environment. And it has affected, on a pretty fundamental level, how we've constructed environments. Put those things together.
They're not slow because of some constraint around how they move through the water, and they're slow because they just pay so much more attention to everything, and they want to mess with things, and they want to poke at things. And so, as world builders, it was really exciting knowing that you could put, you could see a bunch of players mess around in a corner with something they saw over there, and then put extra work into rewarding that in some way that was interesting, because you were confident that a significant number of the players would pay attention to it, and hence it was worth our, the investment of resources. Whereas a lot of times in old Half-Life games, a bunch of players are just running through the environment very quickly, looking for enemies and so on, and so it would often be a little harder to justify the smaller number of players you might see who just try to slow down and interact with something. And so it was sort of fun to build this game because we got to fulfill all of our desires to fill every little nook and cranny with something in a way that you couldn't quite justify it before. And so that was really exciting.
You want to fill all the drawers, all the cabinets, and reward players with whatever drops you have there. And I'm sure for the art team, it's exciting because you get to fill it with Easter eggs. But also in VR, the fidelity of the art is more heavily scrutinized because you can bring things up, and you have to make things react the way people expect them to react.
You also have to, at some point, decide when to stop.
Yeah,
which is sometimes harder for us to do.
It's not a simulation you're building, even though there are physics objects, plenty of physics objects, it looks like.
Yeah, finding that right line. Like Half-Life 2 was one of the games that, was one of the, I think, when it came to the time when the industry was really just started grabbing hold of physics simulation and bringing it into the games. And the real challenge of Half-Life 2 was always finding the right balance of simulation. Like, where's the line between simulation and not simulation? Which led to comical things like I always enjoyed the day we turned on simulation on the player in Half-Life, like simulated the physics on the character, and you could press forward and we'd apply a physical impulse to you, and you could run into a wall and kill yourself instantly because the amount of force you could generate and move at the speed you'd been moving around FPSs previously would just kill you on impact if you walked in a wall. So it's like, all right, so we shouldn't simulate that much, right? And so Half-Life 2 was a big game of finding all the right places to simulate where it's good and to turn something away from simulation where you wanted to make something work more smoothly for the player, or some other reason why it was better to not simulate that bit. And Alyx has been sort of another pass on that. Like, we've had to do that all again, but with a different set of problems.
Yeah, different kinds of simulation, right? Like embodiment of the character, their character.
The hands have been a huge amount of work. One of the you asked back earlier about the models. Like, I think one of the things we started with that we felt like was just sort of a requirement was that their hands would be solid. That you should be able to just, in the way that we sort of said earlier, like a new player coming into this space perhaps without some long-term experience with VR or something, they're going to see the hands. They're going to just expect them to interact with things, right? And so we should attempt to meet them with that. And just dealing with players being able to casually go along and just push things. Like, it's so simple and so easy and so hard technically.
But you're also making decisions like you can't press your hand through a table. You don't visualize the ghosted hand like some other VR games do. You kind of have these natural boundaries that then, as I was playing through it, I realized, okay, then I'm not going to do this. I understand kind of this is the playground I get to play in with my embodiment in the physics of the world.
One of the sort of rules of thumb we tried to stick to in Half-Life 2 a lot was this idea that with things like the physics simulation, you can never get it 100%. It'll always break in some way, but we should be able to get to the point where it won't break for a player who's not trying to break it. And so if you just play the game and you're part of, you run with the fantasy and you try and fit to it, nothing should go wrong. But if someone really tries to push it really, really hard, then we accept the fact that maybe we can't handle that. And so we tried to adopt that rule with Alyx as well. And that's been harder because of the whole issues with real-world hands and virtual hands and stuff like that. And so the simple example of like how to push my virtual hand on top of the table, what happens there. We went through, I have no idea how many iterations of the visualization of what's going on there. Trying to find one that helped you understand what was going on if you were doing it and not trying to break it, but and perhaps confused, to telling you what's going on if you were actually trying to figure out like what happens if I do this. And so finding all these various interfaces that find the right time to appear, so they're not, because if you're not trying to do stuff and suddenly a piece of interface appears that you weren't expecting, it's confusing. Like, what's happening here? And so there was a lot of iteration.
IK, even in that come into play, where you've got to display the hand colliding in a way that would make sense connected to it.
So you're modeling, but you're not showing like elbows intentionally.
Yes, yeah. There were a set of reasons why we needed to be able to make sure your hand's still connected to your arm. So whether it's things like grab the other side of the door and then push the door closed, stuff like that. And so, so yes, there's that simulation there where we use it for detective purposes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we just found that as soon as we visualized that, there were a set of problems for a bunch of other customers. And every time players start playing, they don't seem to notice the moment they're into the game. It's always something spectators notice when they're watching someone else play, but when they're in games, they just never comment on it.
And the same applies to traversal, walking around the world. The game you can play, you can blink around the world, teleport around the world, and while that's something that we saw in the lab, it sounds like it's not as easy as just mapping that movement mechanism over this game. And even chatting with you guys about how you're thinking about the free locomotion, it's difficult with physics objects.
Turns out it matters a lot. We couldn't do the simple thing only, the lab implementation. The more we got into just the game design and actually people's preferences, and also the industry is really learning about how to best represent those things. And it wasn't really a one-size-fits-all thing. What did we have first?
Well, I mean, we started with essentially, different code base, but essentially lab solution. But immediately wanted to move away from instead of the interface stuff, right? Like we don't want to visualize the plane that you can move to and all that sort of stuff, which led to some problems we started to iterate on. But the real kicker was once we started building actual levels where this is what our spaces need to look like, and you go from a space that might look like this clean surface behind us here, which is pretty easy to self-teleport to a room that has 80 different physics objects in it and doors and cupboards and all this sort of stuff.
Letting people stand on tables.
Exactly,
teleport between barriers, but also at the same time.
And being able to then teleport on top of them and all that sort of stuff. So our world got very complex, and on top of that, it was really interesting. Our level designers started wanting to build gameplay that relied on traversal. So you couldn't, from a player standpoint, you might not really think about how teleport is working. You may just sort of assume it's teleport or whatever. But then you get to the point where suddenly now there's something which is preventing you moving somewhere, and you have to understand that would prevent you. You need to understand that you're traversing that space, not teleporting through that space. And so there was lots of discussions about should we attempt to fictionalize this and all this sort of jazz. In the end, traversal was what we wanted, not teleport, because traversal opened up far more opportunities for game design through level work and so on. And so then it became a real question of how do we explain traversal to you in a natural sort of way? And in the end, did an enormous number of subtle things that all come together to help you understand. From the visualization to there's a lot of audio treatment. There's a full virtual like clothing simulator essentially that is looking at, like we have a concept of all the things that are essentially on Alex, and they are affected, the sounds they generate while you teleport are affected by what our traversal figures out. Like if we know that you're going to jump down and then move across something, when you do that teleport, the clothing will play that drop down land sounds as you go and stuff like that.
And subconsciously the player then understands that the character is actually moving through the space even though you're blinking or kind of moving over there. And also allows you not to, so they can't cheat and just teleport past barnacles, you actually have to go around that.
For Half-Life, that just wasn't the right thing, to just blink and teleport and ignore the traversal space.
Yeah, so we saw, I think when we started, we sort of had this idea that teleport was a concession of some kind to a free movement. But as we put more work into it, we just became more and more happy with it, that we don't think there's actually that significant a difference at all between experience. And certainly down to all the sorts of way, like the AI are aware of you. They know if you teleport across a corridor, they know they saw you move across it. So we tried to catch all those various cases. And then as we put more and more playtesters through it, we came to see that for a lot of players, they're just editing out the teleport, much like people seem to edit out movement when you get experience in an FPS and you want to move over there and you press your W and your A key and orient your mouse. You don't think about any of those things. You sort of edit out that step and you're just over there. And so we saw the same sort of thing happening with teleport. People would talk about teleport in our area, early maps where things weren't finished with art and that world wasn't really dense, and then they would completely stop talking about teleport the moment they got into the spaces where the world was dense. And they're collecting and searching, and then some of the other tools like the gravity gloves being things which subtly reduce the amount of teleport you need to do, because you see something over there, and if you want to go over there, you don't need to teleport over there, pick it up, teleport, you can just fetch, move on.
It's not explicitly room scale design in that like you have a small area that you teleport to and suddenly you are walking around. And you can,
but
like
absolutely.
The gravity gloves specifically at least reduce a lot of that in my playtest, and that doesn't seem like a very easy thing for you guys to have solved for. It feels really good. Like the implementation, right? Pulling something with the force power, like the intent that me as a player have. How did you guys get to that point? And what are you guys doing to make that feel?
Years of work. I mean, probably the hardest problem with gravity gloves was trying to find out how we can, essentially how do we activate them. Like the subtlest and hardest problem was not the moment you pull and catch and so on. There was a lot of work there. There's a lot of subtlety around how we orient the thing. It actually does, it knows which hand pulled it and tries to get to that, but it adds in the interpretation of your twist, so you can add a little bit of sideways.
Much stuff going on there. Across the room.
Exactly. But the hardest part was actually how do we know that you want to use your gravity gloves right now? Because we didn't want to have a button. And the main reason for that was every time we tried a button on it, people used it far less. The moment there was a button you had to push to turn them on and then use, people just barely used them. And we tried all sorts of variants of like you can toggle it on and off. You can, there's a slight thing you do before. We had some solutions that worked well on Knuckles, but had no analog whatsoever. They used the cap sense entirely. Open up your hands to basically activate them, and that became a huge amount of.
Now in playtesting, players are pretty prolific. They're using gravity gloves all the time.
But still, it's not a button, but you're still grabbing first.
Yes.
With the trigger or with the grip button.
So the key there was originally when we tried it without buttons, we didn't want to collide with your pickup, and so we had all these problems. So it was on a different button. And what was interesting was we tried a number of different ideas, and every time it diverged from pickup, like the way you actually just grabbed an object, it didn't work. You would see people go like. Oh, that's right. Like there would be this phase where they'd have to remember how to do gravity gloves, but every time it got aligned with pickup, it seemed to map to people's idea that they're just kind of picking up at range, and it just worked so much better there. So in the end, once we aligned it on that, things got a lot better. But
again, players playing along, they subconsciously understand the rules of the game, and so the more you play along, the more believable it is.
That one just seems to become pretty natural for people. I mean, it doesn't seem to be a very conscious thing, but pretty quickly a playtester gets into the mode where they're not thinking about that either. They're just picking stuff up.
I mean, it's such an essential part of the game, but it's also something that across the many different controller designs and button configurations that are on VR headsets is something that you have to consider. So what's that process been like? Going for something that doesn't have like you're not designing interaction models where you're doing what was shown in previous demos of pinching to pick things up or necessarily even squeezing. Like in the Moonlab demo, it's basically kind of the standard grab mechanic. So can you talk about some of the kind of design decisions into making that work with other controllers?
I think many people, certainly other companies and perhaps I think people's expectations of us would be that we would focus entirely on our hardware and drive that fully, like require it in some way. But we were
I'm alive, I'm paying attention.
It was about bringing as many people to VR as possible in as many different ways, whether they want to play
As I said, I'm taking notes.
Or free move and whatever controllers they have. So it wasn't really an option that we ever felt like we had to do something in a way that we just had no version of on all the other controls, even going all the way back to the original Vive where we have a much smaller number of buttons or Windows MR controllers. And so it was a bunch of work, but most of it was really about just trying to find that sort of set of trade-offs that were good enough that could also work across everywhere else. And in some of the cases where we could find a better way to do it on Knuckles to do that, but still just make sure it could still work everywhere else. So I guess there's not really anywhere we put any real significant amount of time into anything that we didn't already have a plan for how this would fall back to others. So in the end, it was a bunch of work, but not so much like
removing friction where we can for each different type of controller. And we have more playtesting to do for some of them, but our goal has really been to get that same ease and natural interaction just by removing friction or making it the lightest weight interaction that we can for things like gravity gloves.
While also offering some pretty complex things that you can do, even like the reload of a pistol, which is part of the fun I've had playing this. In very heated combat moments, thinking about ammo management, looking at a UI that's essentially on my hand for ammo, and then reloading. That's the muscle memory I'm building from that is something that we want players to develop. And it works differently across the different controllers. And how do you think about that two-handed near-field interaction as a part of the game?
We're very happy with it. We think it's turned out better than we even hoped, I guess. And over time, we just kept putting more into it as players kept sort of saying they want to do more. Early on, we had sort of, I think, concerns about like, all right, this is fun to do for half an hour, an hour. Like, what do they still want to do it 15 hours? Right? But we just never saw any fatigue on the players around that sort of stuff. And so we started to, get different weapons and have different mechanics and so on that just seemed to keep working. At the foundation of, I think, so much of what we're doing is really about just making sure you have track controllers. As long as you have track controllers, we can do an enormous amount, right? The amount of input you are giving us there is so much more than we've had in the past that it's, even if you have one button on each of those, you can probably provide, you can definitely provide more useful data than we've had with a keyboard and mouse. We could replicate that with a keyboard and mouse, but it wouldn't be intuitive and we'd use way too many keys.
Macros for these things.
You can try and explain that to someone, whereas one of the great things about the game is you can just let people, for the longest time, actually we ran with no tooltips of any kind. We had no ammo readout on the pistol really either, and people would just figure it out. They just mess around with it and grab things and pull things, and it worked, and that was very heartening.
And those things apply not only to the combat, but also the puzzles that you guys, those are all, again, with the mindset of having track controllers and two-handed interaction. That seems to be the thing. Whether it's exploration, puzzle, or combat, those are core to the game.
Yeah, I mean, you're reminding me that we're actually going through a process where we're looking at making Half-Life Alyx playable with a single controller or single-handed, but we haven't gotten all the way through that process yet. We're trying to make sure that that's possible, just for accessibility reasons. But you're right that on the game design side, that the core has been about enabling two-handed tracked fully interactive input.
And even with that direction as the thing that invigorates you as game designers, you feel like that's the tip of the iceberg for VR, right? Like, when this is shipped and done, or as you guys have been making this over the past couple of years, have there been ideas and things?
I mean, part of this is why we care about VR in the first place. I mean, this amount of input, it's almost like an I/O issue with the platform, or opportunity with the platform. Like 6 degrees of freedom on your hands and your head, and so much fidelity going into your eyes and ears, and those things are just part of why we think the medium is so promising. It's just it seems like a multiplier on what gaming has been to afford that much interactivity, and that you're lighting up more of the player's brain when you have that level of input and output from the devices back to the player. So it's why we were excited in the first place about trying out the medium as one where we should apply ourselves as game designers, and that it should continue to be a thing for Steam.
Is that something that you think is a lesson to share with other game developers or the public, lessons learned, so they're using those best practices and not having to retread the years that you guys have been doing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we see part of our role, I guess, as sharing best practices, but more enabling other people to build the kinds of things that we've built and try their own versions of these experimental things. Half-Life is one solution, and we figured out some things that we think work well for that game, and we want to share what we've learned for that game, but also help people understand what the opportunity is in this medium in general on the PC and on Steam.
Yeah, for new gamers, new to VR gamers, and also people who've already bought into VR and something new and high-end and full of production value. Yeah. What's left to do in the next 3 months?
Fix bugs. That's pretty much all there is left to do.
It's interesting. I mean,
watch playtests. Watch a lot of playtests.
Yeah, both of those things are, I think, the main thrust of the work. Like, there aren't a lot of people walking around adding brand new features or environments or like new character scenarios. So, if somebody tries to do that at this point, they have an uphill road. Mostly it is in finishing.
I mean, the only real stuff that's beyond just bug fixing are the sort of least things that I think that we really want to get in that just sort of had to wait till the end, which are things like.
Okie doke. So that's done. So now I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Might find something small to eat, and then we will be back and we will be recording some videos. So stick around, stay tuned. We'll be back probably about 8 to 10 minutes. Love you guys. Peace and hair grease, and see you in a bit. Hey, woman. It's your boy, Tyler McVicker. How's everybody doing? We're going to be recording 2 videos. And Then I think we're gonna end the stream. Oh my god, 2 hours, 41 minutes. Yeah, definitely gonna end the stream. My god. So let's get the recording. We're gonna record, play any Half-Life game in VR first. And then we're gonna record the Half-Life Alyx catch-up. Okay. Check, check, check. Just making sure I'm all good to go. I'm looking at my memes channel. Okay. Half-Life Alyx is out in a few weeks, and these Half-Life Alyx is out in a few weeks, and those that have played it have only amazing things to say about it. The environments released last week, even as limited as they were, have graphical fidelity and immersion factor that has exceeded anything else seen before, especially in the virtual reality space. However, for those like me, the closer the release, the harder the wait becomes. So how can we stall for time? It turns out that through some community ingenuity, all, and I mean all Half-Life games are playable in virtual reality, including a lot of community-made maps and mods. Unfortunately, it's slightly complicated to set up, but that's why I'm here. Let's go over, in detail, how to play every Half-Life game in VR. Since the release of consumer virtual reality hardware, there have been community teams attempting to port Valve's experiences into that platform, almost always, at the beginning, being based on Valve's own VR work from 2013. For example, HL2 VR, a mod that was greenlit in 2017, has gone almost completely silent for months, and the newest build, which I have access to, doesn't work for me. It wasn't until the Gmod VR mod was released that Source Engine Virtual Reality started to become a reality. Built off of Gary's mod, this add-on adds motion control, room scale, and support for any map in Gary's mod. And as time has moved on, it's continued to improve, thanks to the work of many in the community and thanks to the work of many in the community, and specifically the one guy behind the Gary's Mod VR mod. Because of all of this work, this is nearing a retail experience. VR weapons, VR player models, VR HUD, Half-Life Alyx model and sound replacements. The community has quickly turned this janky mod into a very playable and surprisingly immersive experience. So how does someone set this up? First, make sure you have Half-Life 2, Episode 1 and 2, along with Counter-Strike Source and Garry's Mod purchased and installed, and mount all of these projects within Garry's Mod itself. Next, subscribe to the Gmod Workshop collection that I have put together, linked down in the description below. Then, you need to set up an auto-exec file. This is a file that automatically executes console commands when the game starts, and the file and location of where to put it are both down below. Next, you need to increase the internal resolution of Garry's Mod, as the resolution of your monitor, which will usually be 1080p, is not going to cut it for VR. It'll just look terrible. The way I do it is switching to a beta branch of Garry's Mod. You can do this by right-clicking on Gmod, clicking on Properties, and then Betas, and then choose the Gmod Dev branch. Now launch Gmod and activate the subscribed workshop items, and launch into any Half-Life map. If everything was set up correctly, the map should launch Steam VR, and you're off. All Half-Life 2 weapons will be replaced with immersive VR counterparts with clips, chambers, sights, and slides. You need to change your player model to just being HEV suit arms. And once you set that, your health and suit should be on the back of your left hand. This mod, out of the box, works with most Half-Life 2 maps and mods that doesn't change the engine much, as well as Episode 1, 2, and Lost Coast perfectly. When everything is set up, it just works, and is surprisingly, incredibly immersive. I highly recommend this mod, and playing Source Engine games in VR overall. That doesn't mean it's perfect. Crouching is a mess, NPCs seem to follow your weapon instead of your own eyeline, and entities can disappear if your hands go outside the bounds of the map. However, the underlying mod is a single-person project, which is actively updated, so most of the problems will likely be ironed out over time. Now, as for Half-Life 1, things are not as polished, but significantly more interesting. The most useful modding project is headed by a user named Max, and hooks into the original 1998 Half-Life engine. Now, it's true that mounting the Half-Life source game into Gmod and just playing through it with Half-Life 2 weapons in VR is possible. Now, it's true that just mounting Half-Life source in Gmod and playing with Half-Life 2 weapons in VR is possible. However, everyone agrees that Half-Life source is just trash, and having to use Half-Life 2 weapons just isn't the same. The issue is that while this Half-Life 1 mod does work, with some mods even, it's kind of buggy, far more than Garry's Mod VR. And it also crashes, at least for me, quite a bit. That said, the ambition of this project is very impressive. Injecting physics, making as many interactions physically based, including climbable ladders. If you want to play Half-Life 1 in VR, the download link and installation instructions are all down below. These two options given to the player are amazing, and once the crashing is worked on, the options given to the player are amazing, and once these crashes are worked out, this will be an incredibly playable experience. Now, something players need to realize is that these mods are far more than just the means to play Half-Life in virtual reality. They are platforms that allow users to enjoy much of the content found within these games' engines in virtual reality, and when it works, it really works well. So, Half-Life 2 and the episodes are amazing, and at the same time you have some mods like Mission Improbable or Minerva Metastasis working very well. At times, it almost seems like Valve was creating virtual reality games over a decade before the technology was publicly available. Written and detailed information on how to install all of these are found in the description below, and if you need any help, I recommend going on these community projects forums, or hell, even my own Discord server. Links to those down in the description below. If you want to follow up on all of the topics I cover on this channel in real time, check out my Twitter page linked down in the description below. It's at Valve News Network. Okay. If you want to support these videos, check out my Patreon page linked down in the description below, and thank you very much for watching. I'm Tyler McVicker. This is Valve News Network. Have a good day. Adios. All right, this is all I'm going to record for today because I'm actually getting kind of tired. All right. So, love you guys. Peace and air grease. Talk to you later. Bye.